All right. Hello, everybody. This is Coach Allison, and I have your week 5 Defy Aging workout to show you. Okay, we've got something kind of different this week. So if you're doing this at home alone, it'll be a little different. But in the clubs, or if you want to do it with a friend or a buddy, we're doing an I go, you go style. So we're going to split, in the clubs, we're going to split the session into two groups, group A and B. And there's designated amount of reps for every exercise. So group A will start with exercise 1, do their 10 reps of that, while group B rests. Then group B will do their 10 reps, and while group A rests. So it's I go, you go. So group A goes while group B rests, and vice versa. We're going to do that for all 6 exercises this week, and we're going to go through that for 4 rounds. Okay, so basically your rest time is determined by how quickly or not quickly the other group gets their reps done. If you're doing this alone, I recommend timing yourself for each exercise, and then the amount of time it took you to do that exercise, that is your rest before you go to the next one. I think it'll be kind of fun, kind of different. Okay, 6 exercises. Let's go through those. The first one, plank push-up. We're going to start with a kind of a tough one. This one's going to be for 10 reps. You're going to alternate the leading arm, so it'll be 5 reps each side. Okay, so we're in a plank. Elbows and toes, standard plank. Make sure your hips are level. We don't have the hips way up here. You can also do this on the knees, no problem. But if you're doing knees, again, make sure your hips aren't too high like so. You want to sink them down level with the floor. So what we're going to do is, now I'm going to face this way so you can see my arm position. Okay, so I'm going to take my right hand, place it where my right elbow is right now, press up to both hands, and then lower back down to the elbows. Now I'm going to use my other arm, left arm, up and down, and then right arm, up and down, and you continue in that pattern. Again, you can do that on knees. One thing to keep in mind is make sure you're actually moving the hand to the elbow position as opposed to simply doing this. See, I'm not moving my arms, my hands, excuse me. So you want to actually bring your hand back and replace where the elbow was on the floor. Those are very challenging. Those are extremely hard. So definitely try knees if you try the toes and maybe you're not there just yet. You can also do this on an incline and it works just the same. So you can take yourself up onto an inclined surface if needed. Exercise 2. This one's brand new for us. Plate front raise. Okay. So of course at home, you won't be able to do this. At home, if you're doing this at home, you'll use a dumbbell like this and you'll hold it like this, but I'll show you the movement, but this will be what you do because most people don't have weight plates at home. Your coaches will have these ready for you in the sessions. Okay, angle this up a little bit. So we're working our shoulders here. You're gonna hold the plate like a steering wheel, arms slightly bent. You're gonna raise that weight up to about chest, maybe chin height. Control it back down. We want to make sure we're not swinging and rocking back. The thing about the weights is there's not a ton of variety of weights, of options, right? There's 5, 10s, and after 10, the next weight is 25. So you can stack weights. So I'm going to let's say I have my 10 and I'm like, it's not heavy enough. I need more of a challenge, but I can't do 25, right? So I'm going to grab a 5-pounder and stack them together. Okay. And actually, it adds an added challenge, not only of the extra weights, but of having to hold the 2 plates together. And again, if you don't have plates at home, you're going to be using a dumbbell and doing a front raise like that. So that is exercise 2. Exercise 3 is a squat kick, excuse me. Okay. Oh, I forgot that plate raise is 12 reps. Squat kick is also 12. If you've been with us for a while, you know our squats. We do them all the time. So step hip width apart, and you sink your hips down and back, as opposed to just sinking down, letting your knees stick out forward. So you want to sit back in that imaginary chair. So what we're going to do is alternate a front kick with each squat. So I'm going to do squat, front kick right, squat, front kick left. This is great to challenge your balance, obviously because I'm shifting onto one leg at a time when I do the kick. Make sure with the kick, we'll take it in 4 little parts here. So you do your squat, of course, knee up, leg out, leg back, leg down, as opposed to just kind of a straight leg. So be sure you're getting that full the full kick. That will be 12 total, 6 on each leg. And exercise 4, this one's brand new as well. We've done a donkey kick before, but now we're going to add a dumbbell to it. Dumbbell donkey kick. It's going to be 10 reps on each side. So you'll need I recommend a sort of a lighter weight, and also at the clubs or even at home, if you have the kind of weights with this rubber coating, it's going to be a little more comfortable as opposed to like the solid metal handle. So if you have that option, grab those. But okay, back to hands and knee position. Okay, tabletop position. And it's a little awkward. So this is a donkey kicks typically, right? So adding the weight, you're going to put the weight behind the knee, kind of rest it in there. And now you'll have to squeeze, squeeze really tight. Now you have to really squeeze your knee because you have to keep the weight in there, right? If it's too loose, it's going to wobble all around. So bend your knee, squeeze, and keep your foot flexed as opposed to pointed. So this is a pointed foot. This is a flexed foot. And we're kicking that heel up to the ceiling. So we're not kicking out because, again, that weight will start to wobble and want to tip. We're also not bringing the knee way in like this. So you want to stop about halfway down. Try not to overly arch your back. So we want to avoid see how as I'm kicking, I'm arching my back. You want to avoid that and keep that low back still. This is a glute and hamstring exercise. It takes a little practice. So if it's either not working for you, or if it's too uncomfortable, it is a little uncomfortable with that dumbbell there, I would urge you to try it, even if it's uncomfortable, because things in life are uncomfortable, right? Now, if it's hurting anything, though, then take the weight out and do the donkey kicks without any weight. Now, the alternative, if you are unable to get to the floor, we're actually going to switch it to deadlifts. Very different exercise, but it targets the same muscles, so that's why it's the alternative. You can use 2 dumbbells or a kettlebell. And we do deadlifts all the time. Again, if you've been with us for a while, you're very familiar. I'm going to use a kettlebell, but again, you can use a dumbbell in each hand. If you prefer soft bend in your knees, you're going to fold at your hip joint as you stick your hips back, keeping your back nice and flat. So notice how I'm not letting my back round. So that weight should go pretty much straight up and down. If your weight's going forward and down, you want to shift more of your body weight back. So this is me just leaning forward. The weight's kind of pulling me. See how the weight's angling forward? But now this is me getting my hips back, and now the weight is going straight down. You want your body weight in your heels, that will help. So that is your alternative if you're unable to get to the floor for the donkey kicks. So the deadlifts, you'll do 20 total because the donkey kicks are 10 on each side. Almost done. Exercise 5 is a 3-point row. Okay, you want to incline surface. It doesn't have to be it can be any height. So at the gyms, you might have to use all the boxes depending on how big your group session is. But it's okay if you're down here a little lower. It's okay if you're a little higher. You just want to be resting on something in front of you. Okay, the leg that's back, that's the side that you hold the weight with. So my right leg's back, weight is in my right arm. I'm pulling up and back, keeping a nice flat back. See how I'm not rounding my back and hunching? From the front here. I'm keeping my elbow in kind of tight. See how I'm kind of bringing my elbow back behind me just a little bit? You want to do that as opposed to flaring the elbow out. Keep the shoulder down away from your ear so we're not shrugging. All sorts of things to remember with that 3-point row. That is 12 on each side. All right, last one, you guys. Skaters, our cardio move. Haven't done skaters for a while. Another hamstring and glute focus, but of course, cardio as well. All right. So think of sort of a curtsy, like a curtsy, right? I mean, that's the same idea. We are bringing one leg back behind the other, but you want to take it quick. You want a big step, adding maybe even a hop if you can. So the coordination gets a little tricky. So see how I'm reaching one leg back and behind? Now I'm going to take the same leg that's reaching behind. I'm going to take that hand and reach for the floor. Right leg, right hand, left leg, left hand. So I'm staying low. Notice I'm not coming all the way up each time. That's going to be way too much like head up and down. gonna get you dizzy, and it's actually a lot on the lower back. So instead, I'm staying relatively low at all times. See, my head level is kind of staying level or low. And you can take that to whatever intensity works for you. So the coordination tends to be the trickiest thing on that one. So that is something. 10 each side, so it'll be 20 total. That'll really spike up that heart rate. Okay, those are our 6 exercises. Yeah, I hope you enjoy this I Go, You Go. It's kind of different, and we'll see you back next week.